qualifying for Kennol GT Endurance Cup underway. 3 15-minute sessions to set the grid for tomorrow's 4-hour encounter. It's the penultimate meeting of the season for the Kennol GT Endurance Cup, and indeed for many of the various subcategory challenges within this championship. And as you can see, night conditions here in Magny Cours, just to add an extra layer of spice into the challenge for the drivers. So they will be racing in the day, lights out at 10:30 for the 4-hour race tomorrow before we head to Paul Ricard for the 6-hour finale. So far this weekend, it has been a domination in terms of the top times from the reigning champions and the championship leaders at Team Vision. David Hallyday due to retake his place alongside Jean-Paul Pani and Jean-Bernard Bouvet, but a last-minute call-up to deal with his upcoming tour. That means that Romain Iannetta retakes his place in the #1 Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. They have class challenges from 3 Vortex this weekend. The usual protagonists, Arnaud and Olivier Gomez, the brothers who own the Vortex brand, Lionel Amrouche and Philippe Bonnel in the #21 car, and then in the #20, Roland Marchi, Enzo Richet and Philippe Papin. They will be fighting for the overall honours, though I'm sure they can expect some competition from the Porsche Cup rivals, but in the championship it is just 2 points that separate Jean-Bernard Bouvet and Jean-Paul Pani in the Vision Ferrari from the Gomez Vortex brothers, after Vision did not take part last time out in Aragon, and the Vortex brothers went on to go and win that race. So far, the only time on the board, well, the second time on the board's just come through, but it was Olivier Gomez in that #22 Vortex 2.0. And we have a strong contingent once again from the Porsche Cup category with Mirage Racing, Racetivity, Netsuv Driven, and GP Racing team representing here. Although by the looks of it, we've lost one already. Now on the entry list we did have Martine by Almeras due to be here, though they have withdrawn, and it's showing already withdrawn from the session is the driven Porsche of Jules Simoviak and Shehar Pal. So 14 runners for this Q1 session, and it is the average of the 3 sessions that will set the grid. Alpine A110s back with us again. 3 cars from Chazelle Technology. And this meeting also represents a round of the Alpine Endurance Cup, which is strictly the French rounds in the championship, plus Mugello. So the 2 meetings, Magny Cours at Paul Ricard, and the one at Magny Cours plus Mugello. Over there, it is Marc Jacob and Giannis Garbarassi who lead that in the #94 category. So that is a separate listing from the UCS4 category, although it's the same cars. It's a different combination of races. And it is just 3 points that separate them at the head of that category as it stands. Vortex coming across some of that Alpine traffic and leaning on the side of the Chazelle Technology course car was Olivier Gomez. Not done too much damage to either of those cars. He remains fastest at the moment. Jean-Paul Pani only 5th fastest at the moment in the championship leading Ferrari. A series of Porsche Cup cars between them, led by Ulrich Amado. who is the silver class driver. And yeah, that is a silver-bronze pairing. They are not bound by the rule that the bronze driver must do 2 sessions in this session. That only applies to the top class cars. As Gabriel Pirmont for the number 98 GP Racing Team squad moves up to 2nd in that category, ahead of the sister car, which is Cyril Salael, both bronze class drivers. And then top driver in UCS4 at the moment is Luca de Grange, the 123 Giselle Alpine. An additional car in UCS4 for this weekend is the Ligier JS2R, I should say. That is the Le Cours Français team with Emilie Albani-Villa currently driving that car, sharing it with Margot Verza and Agatha Moiret. Oh, and we've got a red flag out with 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Now,
93.
Is it 93? Claire Cottingham joins us in commentary.
just certainly. It looks like it could be 93. They've come through all their sectors, but they're the only one not moving at the moment on the. Where's the red flag? Have they given yellows before the red flag, or has it gone straight to red?
No, it's just gone straight to red. Yeah, the track map is not the most accurate thing, particularly when the track is a little busy like this. So, interesting. No clear sign yet as to why there is a red flag.
93 stopped to turn 3.
Ah, okay, interesting. So that stops in the first sector then. Good shout.
Thank you.
That is right. Oh, no, that's in the gravel at turn 5. The Adelaide hairpin, I would surmise. And that's really far. That is a big gravel trap that he's managed to find the barriers to.
Yeah, unfortunate. Obviously, couldn't quite see what happened, but be good to see more of the surroundings of how the car's kind of gone in, because the best thing you can see when you see a car in the gravel is see the entry tracks of how they've got to where they are. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's happened to Bruno out there. But the Alpine causing a red flag in the early part of qualifying. The first part of the qualifying session, we'll have 2 more off the back of this for the Kennol GT Endurance Cup, then the race getting underway tomorrow morning. And we will be on the grid and bringing you all the action from that when it gets underway. But for now, red flag conditions, which means all the cars must head back to the pit lane and sit there until they are instructed otherwise. And the clock will stop, despite it counting down still on the clock. Sometimes, depending on how long it is, they might not resume the session, but I would assume with what was 7 minutes left on the clock, they will get it back going.
Yeah, that should be the case. So clock stopped 7:29, despite what the graphic there was saying. And so, yeah, that is the 93 Bruno Servazo. And Bruno, where was he? It wasn't... I think first appearance of the season for him since Portimao back in May. Was 3rd in that race alongside Marc Lopez and Benoit Poulion, who he rejoins for this weekend. So not the return he was really hoping for there. But yeah, in the gravel at turn 5.
It's odd because the timing screen isn't telling us that he's gone past the indication of a new lap, which is what I think confused you.
Yes.
Should have cleared it and started again.
Yeah, normally the way this timing screen tends to work, and I've been trying to get used to it, is that it doesn't clear the sector times after the lap. It will wait until they've gone through the first sector again, then it will reset and show you the first sector time. But surely, if he's ended up in the gravel at turn 5, he's actually gone through the first sector split. So it's either not tripped the beam or he's
gone in backwards. He might have had the spin at between 4 and 5, and he's ended up the wrong way.
That would be extraordinary. I'm not sure how far the gravel trap runs along that straight, to be honest, unless it's actually at Estoril at turn 3, and the GPS is just a bit off.
93 stopped at turn 3.
Ah, it does, doesn't it? So it is at Estoril. That'd be why there isn't a first sector time.
I wonder why you kept saying turn 5. I was like...
Well, because, well, it looked like turn 5, and the GPS says he's much closer to turn 5 than turn 3. So that,
he's somewhere between turn 3 and 4, I think.
That'll teach me for trusting the GPS tracker. And, yeah, so that will be at Estoril, the long right-hander in the first sector. Take a look at Lionel Amrouche. His daughter Solon racing in the Ligier Formula Cup this weekend, and winner of the 24 Hours of Barcelona last weekend in the GTX category with Philippe Bonnel, who is sharing the car with this weekend, but also with Jules Courtois and Olivier Gomez, of course, racing in the number 22 car, fastest driver out there as it stands.
A lot of red flags today, haven't we? We've seen quite a few issues out there.
Yeah, we have had a few. The one more sort of slightly innocent one was in the midget race this morning, which was for the fog.
Yeah,
then we had,
that wasn't their fault.
Yeah, we did have a couple in the Formula Cup qualifying.
Didn't have one for the prototype.
For the endurance, no.
Yeah, it takes a lot to red flag a race like that.
It does, doesn't it?
Too big to have to sort out, basically.
Yeah. And didn't have any, despite a few incidents in the LMP3 race earlier on either. So we've gotten away through most of the day, but they've sort of come a bit thicker and faster now. Really interested to see how this L'Écurie Français team goes with an all-woman crew. As Emily Albany Villa qualifying the car at the moment, a Porsche Sports Cup France racer, sharing the car with midget racer Agatha Moire and Margot Verza, motorsport engineer, but a former Alpine Alpha Cup racer, and currently racing a GT4 Porsche in the TTE championship here in France, in their Ligier JS2R. And we can see Bruno Cervezo's car being extracted from the gravel. A little gap in the barriers for them to pull it into. So Gabriel Piedmont in the 98 car, receiving instructions. Session will resume in just under 2 minutes' time. At 21:31:30 to be precise. Everyone set your watches. So doors close on the 98 there. Gabriel Piedmont sharing that car with Laurine Gaudy, Sébastien Loeb's co-driver in rallying and in life. But Sébastien not joining us this weekend, and in fact it's Stephen Pallett who is the silver class driver for this weekend. We did see him out earlier this year, I believe, with the GP racing squad. We saw him out last year in a pro sports effort at the end of 2024. I'm just looking for, yes, it was with the 98 crew back in Mugello. They finished third with Laurine Gaudy and Gabriel Piedmont, so that crew back together again. Stephen, maybe more known for his VLN antics, NLS I should say, these days in Porsche Cup machinery. Knows the car as well from Porsche Super Cup and Carrera Cup France as well. The 34-year-old from Saint-Doulchard. Cars lining up at the exit of pit lane and green flag now. No one's in a big rush to get out, though. So there is Jean-Paul Pani, the reigning champion and the championship leader. I think it says a lot that they were able to miss the last race in Aragon and still be leading the championship.
Yeah, no, there's a good point. We don't have the full team with us this weekend, though, as I'm not sure you mentioned, but David Halliday's not here. So the local singing superstar is on tour again. He did the same last year, actually. I think he missed the last round last year. No, he didn't. He missed the one before. I think
he missed several.
Yeah, missed 2, I think, last year also.
He was due to be here, but it was a bit of a sort of last-minute thing came up, I think, in preparation for his tour, his upcoming tour.
Yeah, he always tours in the winter, doesn't he?
Yes, obviously work comes first. So it is, yeah, his ever-faithful stand-in, Roman Iannetta, the award-winning stunt driver, but also known for his 5 appearances at the Le Mans 24 Hours. So car's building back up to qualifying speeds, getting the temperature back into the Goodyear rubber, which I'm sure is going to be a little bit of a premium given just how chilly the night has become. Temperature drops quite rapidly here. It's a very foggy, very chilly start to today. Warmed up very nicely, but now back into night running. So this is the top Porsche Cup car at the moment. Ulrich Amado, the silver in that silver-bronze lineup. Car that he shares with Michael Desmayal, and he's the first car across the line to get this qualifying session back underway. Also the second place car overall as it stands, a second away from Olivier Gomez in the Vortex. The Netsuv Racing team not with us last time out in Aragon. They were dearly missed, but nonetheless working towards a podium finish once again, I'm sure, which they've yet to claim in the 3 races they've contested so far this year. Ulrich certainly knows how to turn a quick lap time in one of these cars. As a former French GT racer. In towards the Imola chicane. I love watching Porsche Cup machinery through there, just the way they roll through on the curbs. Got the championship leader directly behind him on the road in the form of Jean-Paul Pani. Their faithful Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo. And I lose count of how many titles Jean-Paul Pani has won in this category now. If you go back to the V days as well. Second championship in Ultimate Cup, but in this category it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total. Five of which he's won alongside Jean-Bernard Bouvet. So 3 minutes and 20 on the clock. Nobody's really lighting up the timing screen at the moment. Roland Marchi in the number 20 Vortex has put in a personal best, as has Jean-Paul Pani. He's moved up to 4th fastest ahead of Gabriel Piemont's Porsche Cup car. In the UCS Forts, it's Luca de Grange in the 123 car that leads the way in the UCS 4 Championship after 3 victories so far this year, but is second in the Alpine Endurance Cup Challenge, leading the way there. Ulrich Amado actually setting the best middle sector of anybody on this current lap. It's a second to Olivier Gomez in terms of the ultimate lap time. Daniel Wazinski, meanwhile, in the Racetivity run at Porsche Cup cars, having 2 laps deleted for track limits at 17. Oh, that was a hop, skip and a jump over the curbs for Ulrich Amado. And doesn't improve despite that purple middle sector, but Jean-Paul Pani does. Moves up to 3rd position now, within 1.2 of Olivier Gomez. 2 minutes left on the clock in this Q1 session. Vortex's line astern in the timing order at the moment, with Roland Marchi just ahead of Lionel Ambrouche, 20 ahead of 21 in 7th and 8th position. Gianni Schiabarassi temporarily moving up to 9th position, with Daniel Wazinski's latest lap times being deleted. Gabriel Pimont also having lap times deleted. If you do the track limits at the final corner, you get both that current and the next lap deleted as well. So it's a double whammy if you extend on the exit of the final corner onto the start and finish straight. There goes Emily Albany-Villa, currently 3rd in the UCS4 category, beating 2 of the Alpines. Benoit Marion and Bruno Servazo, which of course is the car that ended up in the gravel. And that car should be able to rejoin the session for Q2. It'll be delivered at pit entry, is the message from race control. Having a number of laps deleted, though. Olivier Gomez into pit lane. Looks like he's done. I don't think, did he even go back out after the red flag? I didn't see him out there.
No, I haven't seen him out for a while, no.
So some confidence.
Yeah, leading by a second at the moment is Olivier Gomez. So I suppose if you're got a second lead at this time with 9 seconds left on the clock, I don't know if I would be particularly that excited to go back out either.
No, quite. 2 personal bests from Ulrich Amado on that lap, but still doesn't improve the lap time. Checkered flags now out. Jean-Paul Pani into pit lane, as is Cyril Salail, Gabriel Pimont and Lionel Rigaud. So
a lot of track laps have been deleted here. 17, laps 6 and 7. Don't quite know where we're at, 8 and 9. So some people are going to change here for 98, car number 98, which is currently 5th. 8 and 9 have been deleted there.
I think those have already been sort of served.
Have they
so
now?
To speak, on
they've literally just come in, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a delay on that compared to...
Yeah, just said it there. Car 20.
Car 20, yes, that is a new one. So that's Roland Marchi. Still says 7th ahead of Lionel Rigaud. But it is Olivier Gomez, fastest in the Vortex.
Gomez brothers once again showing their speed out there. And we'll see what happens in the next part of qualifying to see how strong that Vortex really is. And Q2 going to start at 1:45, so in about 4 minutes' time.
1:45 on the dot.
So it says.
1:45. Because of that little delay we have with the red flag in Q1. We are running a little bit behind schedule anyway, with delays in other...
Been running behind schedule since all day, really.
Much, yeah.
Apart from the midgets this morning. That was the only thing that started on time, really.
The first race of the day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because we had the massive delay, if you weren't with us earlier today. We had fog on the track, basically. You couldn't even see up to turn 1 or see the final corner either. And then it cleared and we got some racing going, but at about an hour late. We're still on schedule, actually. It's just that we got rid of our lunch break.
No, quite. I think some of the red flags since then have put us a little bit behind the initial schedule. Anyway, So it's Ulrich Amado fastest for Netsuv Racing in the Porsche Cup category, just incidentally. And actually, it was Gianni Scarbarassi who got the better of Luca de Grange in the end, in the 94 Alpine for UCS4 Annas, so pipping the 123 car there. Did we see a lap time deleted for 123?
Yes.
We did, so...
Lap 7 got deleted.
Yes, so I think, yeah, that's probably helped out. You would expect Luca de Grange to be the fastest of the various Alpine drivers as one of the few silvers in that category. Try and double check if he's the only silver. He is for this weekend. I think we've had one other at another race, but he's the only one out there. And of course in UCS4, Aktamare and Margot Versa are also silver class drivers. But in terms of the Alpines, it's yeah, just Luca. I think it's the first time this year we've had a non-Alpine in the UCS4 category as well, so that's good to see. Bit of diversity in that category.
Shame not to see Sébastien Loeb with us this weekend. Usually he's in the 98 Porsche, but his partner and I was about to say co-pilot then, co-driver, Laurine. She says Lauren, but I think she's isn't she a Laurine? She's French, so she'd be a...
If she says Lauren, then I
don't know
what I say.
No, I don't know. Oh, there you go. We've been said in our ears in a very beautiful French accent. It is Lauren.
Lauren, okay.
Thank you. I'm here for I'm getting thanks in my ear now. That's what I'd like every time I say something, if possible. Anyway, she's out there, but no Sébastien Loeb. Loeb has been with us a lot this championship, and actually it's been lovely to see.
I can't think what he's doing this weekend.
I don't have his schedule to hand.
Maybe a quick gander at his Instagram will uncover some answers for us. Sébastien Loeb officiel. 1 day ago, private testing with Dacia, ready for the Rally du Morocco. So it seems like, yeah, probably, yeah, is it Rally du Maroc this weekend or coming up? Yes, 10th to the 17th of October, that is. So that started yesterday. So he's rallying this weekend, is the short answer to that one. So cars lining up for the start of Q2 now. We'll get an inkling as to who's taking over the cars. One would assume Jean-Bernard Bouvet has taken over the Vision that's patiently waiting at the head of the queue. And we now get the green flag for Q2. Cars re-emerge back out onto the racetrack. Headlights even more ablaze than they were half an hour or so ago. Some cars taking liberties with the pit lane exit line. Although there you can see the evidence of Bruno Sauvet's spin into the gravel. Oh, how about that for a moonshot?
That was a good one.
Gorgeous. Well done to whoever found that.
I don't even know where the moon is.
In the sky.
I'm gonna go look. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, while Claire's out stargazing, let's see who we've got in this session. It's actually Romain Iannetta in the Vision at Ferrari. So Jean-Bernard Bouvet doing the last session. Jean-Jacques Ardilly in the Mirage Porsche. Reggie Rigo de Seb in the Racetivity Run Porsche. taking over from Daniel Wyszynski. New silver class driver for them is Johan Boris Scheider for them this weekend. That is the Bruno Survey number 93 car that's just been recovered back to the pit lane entry. Hopefully they can get that car out and just at least do a lap time so they're not reduced to the back of the grid. Although as the slowest class here, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It is a 4-hour race. Who else do we have? Olivier Martinez in the number 19 Chazelle Alpine. Enzo Richer aboard the number 20 Vortex, taking over from Roland Marchi. Philippe Bonnell, of course, in the 21. That's a 2-car lineup. Mikhail Desmael, of course, taking over from Ulrich Amado, again, his only teammate. 64, still showing Emily Albany Villa. I think that needs to be updated. Loic Thier in 89 from GP Racing, handing over from Cyril. Lauren, sorry, I've done it again. Lauren Godey.
No, Lauren, you said it right.
Lauren.
No. We just had this conversation.
Yeah, it was Lauren.
Oh, is it Lauren?
Lauren.
No, it's not a Lauren.
Lauren.
It's not like.
It's not Laureen though, is it? Which is how I was
is that
about
what you
to
were
say.
saying?
Yes.
Ah.
Lauren. I've just.
But just do it the English way.
Yeah, Lauren Godey. If anyone has a. If anyone has a problem with how I say Lauren's name, then please do not tweet at me. Lauren Godey aboard 98 as well. She was the last driver to go through there. Because we have no 41 car from Driven in this session, which is a great shame. Arnaud Gomez wasting no time in setting some purple sectors. Actually jumped the Vision Ferrari somewhere in the queue on the racetrack. Although track limits being reported, so the first 2 lap times here for Arnaud Gomez are not going to count. So it may well be fastest at the moment, but this lap will be deleted. As we see Philippe Bonnell in the sister 21 car. We were talking about Lionel Ambrouche and Philip when he was in Barcelona last year. In fact, the pair actually won the 24-hour series Creventic title in GTX category with Cyril Calmont. Congratulations to them. So Enzo Richer fastest then after that first lap in the number 20 car, the darker red of the 3 Vortex cars, with Roman Iannetta 4.7 seconds back after his first effort in the Ferrari. You can tell Porsche have built that car for endurance racing, can't you, with the blaze of additional headlighting at the front of that car. Absolutely blinding. Loic Thier, meanwhile, fastest in the number 89 GP Racing Team Porsche. He's gone across the line with a 1:41.893, 0.09 of a second quicker than Richer's Vortex. So Enzo and Agatha Moire, who are the only silver class drivers in this session. Oh, very nice of Benjamin Lessenes to drop a message in the YouTube chat room and explain his absence from the Racetivity Porsche. Racing in GT4 Europe this weekend. I had actually forgotten that was on. No disrespect. A lot of other things on my mind. Of course, it is the GT World Challenge endurance finale this weekend over in Barcelona. So, well, good luck, Benjamin. We wish you well and hope Johan Boris serves you well as a replacement for this weekend for the Racetivity squad. I appreciate that update. Roman Iannetta now fastest for Vision, 1:38.858. That is Oh, not quite the fastest time we've seen this weekend. Oh, I fear I may have dobbed in the Mirage Racing Porsche and the number 94 Chazelle Technology Alpine. So that's Mark Jacob and who's in the 10? Jean-Jacques Ardilly. They're under investigation for crossing the white line at pit exit, which I did sort of call out when we saw them go out there. So hopefully I haven't dobbed them in it there.
I don't know if they're listening to you.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah, I always feel bad about that when you're like, oh, that was a mistake, and you think, oh, should I say anything? I don't want to say anything to upset them. But also you've got to call what you see. I'm afraid that's Enzo Richer out there at the moment. I stole a chocolate off him earlier in the pit lane. He was eating, you know, this little Japanese what are they called? They're like
the little sticks with chocolate on.
Yeah, yeah. He was watching the racing in the prototype earlier, and he was eating them, and he had the packet open, and I just popped in and took one, and he went, "Oh, not going to ask, are we?" Stole
food out of a young boy's hand.
Yeah, so he did. To be fair, he probably needs it more than I do. But yeah, I was like, I only took one, but you know, when someone turns around, and you think, oh, I don't know if actually that was. You like that? So Enzo, if you're listening, and you won't be because you listened to the French one, but my apologies, it was just a bit silly. He then offered me one afterwards, and I turned it down.
Stop and go penalty for Jean-Jacques Ardilly and Mark Jacob for crossing the white line on pit exit. I assume that's to be potentially served in the race. Not going to do much in a qualifying session, is it? It will just cost them a couple of laps.
It will have to be in the race, won't it?
We'll get confirmation on that. It's still Romain Ionetta fastest ahead of Arnaud Gomez and Enzo Richer. Ferrari leading the two Vortexes. There's 3 UCS1 cars at the head of the field. And Gomez, with as much confidence as his brother, bringing the car back into pit lane in the middle of this session. Might not even be going back out. Loic Thiers still fastest of the Porsche Cup runners. It's a GP Racing 1-2 with 89 leading 98 of Laurent Gaudy. And Michael Desmail third for the Netsuv Racing car. Remember, that's the fastest Porsche Cup car in Q1 at the hands of Ulrich Amado. Enzo Richer now goes second fastest ahead of the 22 car of Arnaud Gomez. Young Enzo, I'm sure not entirely fresh-faced after a intense European Endurance Prototype Cup race with the Lamo squad, where I think he finished 5th, if memory serves me correctly, with his new teammates. Switching cars in the Lamo squad for this weekend and enjoying a much more fruitful weekend. Rodrigo de Seb getting a lap time deleted for track limits at turn 3, which is Estoril. Currently 8th overall and 5th of the Porsche Cup runners, last of the Porsche Cup runners that we have. Oh, the vortex on the overrun does sound pretty good, doesn't it? Philippe Bonnell makes his way through the final chicane. That wasn't an improvement, despite a personal best in the first sector. Enzo Richer going even faster, still with 2 personal bests on this lap so far. Meanwhile, Agatha Moire is fastest of the UCS4 runners, ahead of all 4 of the Alpines. It's Frederic de Brabant, who is the fastest of the Alpines, the 123 car. So Enzo Richer lowers his benchmark once again, moves to within 2.5 seconds of Romain Ionetta. So 1:39.7 now for the young Frenchman. Brake discs glowing there on Michael Desmail's Netsuv Porsche. Bolt driver on board that car for this session. 4 minutes left on the clock, and he now splits the 2 GP Racing team Porsches in that category. Goes second fastest in Porsche Cup, 5th fastest overall. Gomez seemingly in no great hurry to get back out on the racetrack. there is a little bit of work going on inside that car. Romain Iannetta in the Ferrari looking even more chill, with no work going on that Ferrari. Race activity with that number 17 car, now up to 4th. Rodrigo said putting in a legal lap this time. They'll be hoping things are going a little bit better for them in Kennol GT Endurance Cup than they have done in Ultimate GT Sprint Cup with their ex-Matrek Ford GT with Eric de Bard and Hugo Chevalier not taking part in any of the races or qualifying this weekend, which we were very disappointed about because we love seeing the Ford GT back out in action. Two and a half minutes left on the clock in this Q2 session. Two Porsche Cup cars line astern going through the Imola chicane. Mikael Desmial putting in another personal best last time around. Improves in time but not in position. Second position in class. Mark Jacob.
Not the designer.
No, I should stress that. I'd never actually made that connection before. It's even spelt the same way.
Yeah,
well.
it is.
Have we double checked it's not the designer?
I don't think I have.
I don't think it is.
I don't think. Let me double check. Mark. No, because Mark Jacob is
Mark Jacobs. Isn't it? Yes. That's a very good point. Shows how much I know about fashion, despite being an ex-Top Man employee.
That's twice you've come out with that this weekend.
Have I? I hadn't thought I mentioned it.
Yeah, you mentioned you worked with somebody who was telling me a story.
I mentioned an office, but I didn't mention Top Man.
Yes, you did.
I'm certain of it.
I'm certain you did, because you told me a story of someone you used to work with at Top Man. Because I remember thinking, I didn't know you worked for Top Man. 1 minute left then, as the final few drivers come through to set their laps before we get into the third part of qualifying, the final on-track action today. It's been a long day. We've been here since...
about 8 a.m.
Well, we got here at 8 a.m. Racing started at about... So actually, no, racing started at 8, didn't it, with the midgets, or was it 8:30?
Yeah, the midgets were out there when we arrived. So, yeah. It's been a long old day here in Magny Court. Thank goodness that these various delays haven't actually kept us too much, because we are supposed to have silent running by 10:30, I believe.
Yes. Car 20's had their lap deleted. Still running second at the moment, though, is Enzo Richer.
So that'll just lower their average a little bit.
Yeah.
That is for track limits at turn 7, which is the Nürburgring chicane, the first of those two high-speed chicanes. Philippe Bonneau putting in his final effort there and moves up a couple of spots, moves up to 7th overall. 1:45.7. Somewhere along the way, Romain Iannetta put in a 1:37.2, which I failed to notice, which is actually the fastest time of the weekend so far, which previously was 1:37.4 set by that car in free practice 2. And Loitzia, not beating the best time of the Porsche Cup category so far this weekend. I'm slightly perturbed at just how much hustle there is around the 22 Vortex at the moment. It's like they haven't left it alone since Arnaud Gomez brought it into pit lane. I may just be worrying over nothing, but we'll see when Olivier gets back aboard the car for Q3. Enzo Richer bringing the red trimmed Vortex number 20 in and shortly vacating it.
Session then come to an end, and all the cars will head back to the pit lane, and we will get driver changes again. And this is car number 20, Enzo Richer, getting out of the car, and it's only two of them, isn't it? It's him and Richard. Oh no, Philippe Papin, if he's here this weekend, because he was on the entry list in Aragon, I believe, and then didn't actually race, and there was only two of them in the end in that car. So see if Philippe Papin is getting involved this weekend, or if it indeed will be just two drivers in the Vortex again.
Which one are we talking?
Number 20 Vortex.
The number 20. Yes. Let me double check and see what happened to number 20, because you're right, it was only Roland Marchi and Enzo Richer who did the last round at Aragon.
There's the moon again. Couldn't find it out there.
Oh, it's orange now.
Yeah, it's a blood moon.
God, that's
I can't find it. I'm going back out to find it.
Space is cool, isn't it?
Oh, it's not. I can't go into that conversation again. It blew my mind too much yesterday. At least we know that one definitely is a planet, star.
Please, no.
I'm joking, I'm joking.
Please, no. I'll put my head through a wall. So, fresh Goodyear is going aboard 22 for Olivier Gomez when he heads back out onto the racetrack. And number 19, Olivier Martinez only just got back to pit lane. Goodness me, you do forget the pace difference between some of these cars, between like the Alpine A110s, which is probably one of the lowest categories of a GT competition, and lapping about 15 to 20 seconds a lap slower than the top class GT3 or UCS1 cars as they are in this category. Vortex back into fast lane. Pit lane is open. And we will soon be underway for the final 15 minutes of on-track action for the day. The Q3 session that will finalise the grid for tomorrow's 4-hour race. Well, someone in the gallery knows how much we're enjoying the moon at the moment, and I am not going to complain about seeing it again. Spectacular camera work. And again, one of the beauties of driving in the night. As I say, it will be such different conditions for the race that starts at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Green flags now waving as Q3 officially gets underway. The cars will make their way out of pit lane and onto the circuit. I'm sure we'll see those cars any moment now. There they are. So it is Olivier Gomez back aboard the 22. Lionel Amrouche back aboard the 21. Roland Marchi back aboard the 20. So I wonder if we have lost Philippe Papin. Unless he did Q1 and I've just forgotten about it. I don't think he did, though. Meanwhile, Jean-Bernard Bouvet aboard the number 1 Vision. Thibaut Caray aboard the number 10 car now from Mirage Racing. The 17 will be Johan Boris Scheider, who's in for Benjamin Lessenis. As their silver class driver, Julien Bouni aboard number 19 now. Ulrich Amado back aboard the Netsuv Porsche. Margot Versa aboard 64, the Ligier JS2R. The 28-year-old Parisian. Anthony Beltoise aboard the number 89 car. Now then, we should see some solid pace from the multiple French GT and Porsche Carrera Cup France champion. And Stephen Pallet aboard the 98 as well, the stand-in for Sébastien Loeb. Yes, Claire, I think you were right about Philippe Papin, because it's Roland Marchi who's got back aboard the 20. So I don't think we have that AM driver this weekend.
Again.
Yeah, well, that is a shame. When I say AM driver, I do mean AM as in a separate category to bronze. In this championship, we do have the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, but we have an even lower level than bronze, which is AM. And those are the ones who are unhandicapped. So slightly different to the European Endurance Prototype Cup, where we don't have this additionally lower level, but this championship offering even more accessibility. I think I would be coming in at that particular level.
Is there one below AM?
I wish there was.
You don't even drive.
Sim racing, isn't it?
Oh, that did not come from me, my fellow sim. I love a sim racer, so I'm not getting involved in that. There are very talented sim racers out there.
Right, my last will and testament now.
Yeah, they'll come for you. They'll Discord about you.
Olivier Gomez about to cross the line here and set the first benchmark time of 1:38.065, which is significantly quicker than he managed to do in Q1. I will say that was barely below 1 minute 40. He's managed to find about 2 seconds since Q1. Anthony Beltoise, as you'd expect, putting in a belter, 1:40.7. Not quite the fastest time we've seen in the Porsche Cup category this weekend, but a solid way to start the session. Jean-Bernard Bouvet, meanwhile, third fastest ahead of Ulrich Amado. While Marchi, Thibaut Caray, Lionel Amrouche. Luca de Grange quickest of the UCS4 cars on that first effort. With Julien Bouni yet to put in his time just yet. Margot Versa having lap time deleted though for track limits at the Nürburgring chicane. Julien Bouni about to put in his first lap time in the number 19 Giselle Alpine. Same cars you'll see in the Alpine Elf Cup series. And goes 10th fastest. At 98, Stephen Pallet having this lap time deleted, though he's about to come across the line. As Jean-Bernard Bouvet goes fastest by 47 thousandths of a second, quickest in the second and third sectors. Olivier Gomez, though, has brought that car straight back into pit lane. He's done one lap and comes straight back in. So they're not wasting any time or miles on that car tonight, are they?
No, definitely not. 9 minutes left then on the clock, and it's interesting for these guys because these conditions will not be what they're racing in tomorrow morning. So it's I always find it weird when they do this. They do a nighttime qualifying and then a completely different set of conditions for tomorrow. So, you know, you might prefer driving in the dark or whatever the conditions are, the cooler conditions, and then tomorrow morning it'll still be quite chilly, but it's a completely different setup.
Jean-Bernard Bouvet with a little bit of traffic in front of him. First of all in the form of an Alpine. Quickest in the middle sector still though. He's got the Stephen Pallet Porsche directly in front of him. That might compromise the end of this lap. Anthony Beltoise now having lap times deleted, this time for the final corner, so that'll affect the subsequent lap as well. Currently fastest of the Porsche Cup runners. Yellow flags out at turn 8 as well, the 180-degree corner. They're very quickly cleared. That shouldn't have compromised anyone too terribly much, and it's not an improvement for Jean-Bernard Bouvet. As you might expect, that little bit of traffic in the form of Ulrich Amado. Trying to find a way through, does manage to slip on the inside at Estoril with a flash of the lights to help him out there as well. I do not think I could have the mental capacity to be hitting the flash button while going through a very fast corner on a racetrack. Seven minutes to go, and Stephen Pallet now takes over as the top of the Porsche Cup runners in third position overall in the number 98 car. And it's Johan Boris Scheier who has gone second quickest ahead of Anthony Beltoise. Meanwhile, so it's GP Racing, Racetivity, GP Racing. Stephen Pallet serving his duties well as a replacement for Sébastien Loeb, and indeed Johan Boris Scheier doing the same thing, standing in for Benjamin Lessenes. Stephen Pallet, fastest of the Porsche Cup runners. So much weight on the left-hand side as they make their way around Estoril. Jean-Bernard Bouvet improving in the first sector meanwhile. Already the fastest car out there. Thibaut Caray trying to improve his times. Stephen Pallet once again going quicker in the first sector, setting a personal best. So Johan Boris Scheier just lowered his benchmark as well. Luca de Grange getting a lap time deleted, but still fastest of the UCS4 runners. Into the pits comes Gianni Scarbarassi in 94. It's the second place car in that category. Also Luca de Grange. That looks like the end of their session. Fastest in the middle sector now for Jean-Bernard Bouvet in the Vision Ferrari. Round of applause from the Giselle mechanics, but Jean-Bernard Bouvet is about to put some daylight between himself and Olivier Gomez, who's not emerged back on the racetrack since doing that one flying lap. Doesn't improve in the middle sector, the Jean-Bernard Bouvet, but still sets the fastest time of the weekend, a 1:36.766, and goes 1.3 seconds quicker than Olivier Gomez. Stephen Pallet also putting about 0.8 of a second between himself and Johan Boris Scheier in the Porsche Cup category, and for third position overall. Top four all in that category, all silver class drivers, as you'd expect. So Julien Bouny's just gone third fastest in UCS4 and usurped Margot Versa in the Ligier. So very happy Gianni Scarbarassi. and Luca de Grange as well. Final 3.5 minutes of this qualifying session. Jean-Bernard Bouvet fastest, and giving Vigeon a great shout at pole position. Remember, it's the average time across the 3 sessions that will set the grid for tomorrow. Looks like Bouvet's coming into pit lane as well. So nothing more from the reigning champion. Who else is still out there on the racetrack? We've still got the 98 and the 89. So the second and third fastest car, in fact the top 3 cars in, maybe the top 4 cars in the Porsche Cup category for now as well. Stephen Pallet still out there pounding around, as is Ulrich Amado, Johan Boris Scheier and Anthony Beltoise. Alongside the number 19 Alpine of Julien Bouny and Margot Versa. They're squabbling over 3rd position in UCS4. And Margot Versa has just done a personal best in the first sector, having just done a personal best lap there as well, aboard the Liqueur Francais Ligier JS2R. In has come the 89, Anthony Beltoise. He'll do no better than 3rd position in class in this session. In comes Julien Bouny as well. So he will have to settle for 4th in the UCS4 category. We did not see the 93 back out there after that spin for Bruno Cervezo in Q1. So that car will start from the back of the grid alongside the 41 driven Porsche, if indeed it manages to make it to the grid. But Margot Versa still looking to improve her overall lap time, and she's done a personal best in the middle sector as well. Ulrich Amado personal best in the middle sector on this lap. Has got to find 0.6 of a second to pip Anthony Beltoise. We'll see if he even completes the lap. 98's gone back across the line. Stephen Pallet did not improve. Has got 1 more lap in order to do so. Ulrich Amado coming through the last chicane now. So it's personal best in the middle sector for Ulrich. Not an improvement in the final sector, not an improvement in the lap. Overall stays 4th fastest in the Porsche Cup category. And Margot Versa also did not improve in that final sector. They lost a fair chunk of time and was just missed out on her best lap by 0.005 of a second there, actually. So remains 3rd in UCS4. Potential opportunity though for Johan Boris Scheier to improve on this final lap. He's gone green in the first sector with a 30.5.
More track limits out there. Reported at turn 3, lap 9 deleted for car number 29, which is down in 6th at the moment. And the checkered flag then waves here in Magny Cours for the last time this evening. And it is unsurprisingly Jean-Bernard Bouvet who is leading the way of this session. Obviously the qualifying times are an average over the 3 sessions that we've had already today. Olivier Gomez 2nd at the moment in the Vortex number 22, and Stephen Pallet will be happy with that in the 98, who's joining us this weekend with the absence of Sébastien Loeb. Any other drivers looking on there that have surprised you? It looks like business as usual, really, doesn't it?
Johan Boris Scheier just able to get a last gasp improvement there, but remains 2nd in the Porsche Cup category and 4th position overall. I'm very surprised we didn't see more than 1 lap for Olivier Gomez, though. 1 flying lap, anyway. So potentially there was more on the table, but he had found, a good 2 seconds compared to his Q1 lap time. So not sure if And there were issues in that first session. It's quite a chunk of time to find. But it is Jean-Bernard Bouvet quickest in Q3, Olivier Gomez in second, Stephen Pallett fastest of the Porsche Cup runners ahead of Johan Boroshire and Anthony Beltoise. Luca de Grange, Gianni Scarbarassi and Margot Versa for Chazelle and L'écurie Français, respectively. So a reminder, it's lights out at 10:30 tomorrow morning for the Kennol GT Endurance Cup, 4 hours of Magny Cours, on air from 10:05 as the cars just make their way back into the pit lane. So thank you very much for joining us here today at Magny Cours, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for the 4 hours of Magny Cours.
La course des GT Endurance, donc restez avec nous, non, revenez avec nous demain matin, allez dormir comme nous, reposez-vous bien, préparez-vous pour une nouvelle journée riche en émotions et en compétition sur le circuit de Magny Cours. C'est l'Ultimate Cup et ça continue demain dimanche. Passez une bonne nuit et à demain.